Mhm. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am hoping to get all of my screens going at the same time. So, welcome. Welcome to 2026. Welcome to the energy. Welcome to everything that's going on. And you're on the flip side of the end of 2025 and the holidays. It's like, okay, I'm not a Scrooge. The energy is just so chaotic during this time. So, thank you for being here. And I want to dive into this idea of the Cancer full moon and managing your field. And there's a lot of managing your effing field. How are you doing with it? So let's just take our field and let's play with it today, okay? Because we're just coming off of the Cancer full moon that was Saturday early morning at 3:02 a.m. if in Montana, Mountain Standard Time. So you can adjust the time zones from there, right? But it's still fully with us, as we know. It's Sunday morning. We are 36 hours after this moon, and this moon is going to stay with us for the next week or so as it sort of pulls because it is a deep water moon. Cancer is a cardinal sign in water. Cardinal means it's the leadership. So when you look at Cancer in the leadership of water, Aries in leadership of fire, right? We're dealing with some phenomenal energies, and it's about leadership. It's not about external leadership. It's about internal leadership. So I brought some cards to show you. So this is the Cancer card within the Thoth deck. And this is a being who's holding the vibration, and it's vibrating throughout the whole system. And that is the field. This is the person carrying the field. Now, when you go to Osho Zen, this is what it looks like, right? And we've talked about this often. When I go to the light seers, I love this. It's like I'm in charge of this carriage and I'm going to take it where I want it to go, right? So in the tarot, Cancer is the Chariot. It's not about force, right? It's not about coherence. It's about the direction, right? The charioteer isn't outrunning emotions. They don't deny it, they hold it. So when we go to this guy's just holding it. And in so many ways, this is Saturn in that masculine, structured, I'm going to hold the field so that everything else can happen around it. It's so powerful when we look at this because the question the full moon has been asking us is how are you managing your field, right? How are you allowing your sentience, your feeling intelligences, right, to guide you? Are you? And so when we look at this in the astrological context, we're sitting with Saturn and Neptune still at 29 degrees in Neptune, total water, right? This is a threshold moment. This is when old structures of authority and certainty and what explanations of what are dissolving are coming to the surface. Pisces doesn't dissolve the outer scaffolding. And Saturn asks us to build something different inside, which is almost like I should say it isn't that Pisces is going to dissolve all of the external, and the Chariot, this powerful Saturn energy is going to build something real inside. So what replaces the outer external scaffolding is the external authority. And that's not a belief. That's an inner coherence. That's the way that we navigate. So it brings us to and before I want to go into the discernment lens, but before I do that, I saw these other two cards when I was looking, which I thought were sort of interesting. Within the light seers, this is the king of fire, the emperor, excuse me, and he's sitting on the field. Like, I understand it, I know what I'm doing. And I thought this is the internal structure that Saturn is giving us. And when I look at this is the version of Aquarius, where she's sitting in front of a full moon and sort of navigating all of those emotions that come with that field. So when we look at this idea of discernment, we're living in a time of accelerated information. s- things are coming at us so fast. And it's not just data, it's stimulation. And we've talked about this over the last few weeks. It's a lot of stimulation coming in, more voices, more explanations, more interpretations of reality that are coming at us from every direction. And, if you have those algorithms where you're curious about what AI is saying, you're curious about what astrology is saying, you're curious about the budding of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, it's like that's all you hear about or see coming across your screens. And so what's happening now is that these interpretations are coming at us from every direction, and at the same time we can feel something is awakening inside of us, like, I like that. Oh, that is stirring something inside of me. And that isn't an accident, right? It's not just a test in belief, it's a test in discernment. Do I trust this information or do I not? Do I pick those little golden pieces out of it and let the rest go? This is what we do with discernment. So, what is actually happening is we're not being asked to adopt a story or a reality. It used to be like, so here's the lens we want you to look through, and you're going to take it and use it. We're not doing that anymore. We're not adopting new stories or realities. We're being asked to replace external authority with our internal structure. And so for a long time, we were trained to look outside of ourselves for what is true, right? Or what is safe, or what matters, or what comes next. And those structures, as we can feel it inside, are completely dissolving. And as they dissolve, something else must take its place. So it's not chaos, it's not blind faith, and it's not new gurus or saviors. It's this idea of inner coherence. I am trusting what I am collecting, what clarity I am having internally, and I'm navigating from there. So when we manage the field, right? There's this image that stayed with me. I watched the Age of Disclosure this weekend, and watching all these UAPs, and the images of the UAPs captured something on film. And at the very end, they talked about it's the idea of an object moving through our atmosphere inside its own field. Inside its own field. And I was like, wow, I'm watching this on the day of the Cancer full moon, and these two things just went and tied a knot together, a connection, right? And I love it. It wasn't an accident. It was absolutely what I wanted to talk about today. So, the idea of an object moving through our atmosphere inside its own field means it's not being impacted by the gravity or pressure in a usual way, and it isn't moving against the environment it's in. It is just simply changing the environment to adapt to it. And so when we're moving in this coherent field, it has its own adaptability. And I thought, that has been what I've experienced in the last 2 to 3 months, is this ease at navigating out in the chaos when I know who I am and I'm holding my field. And I thought about I wanted to share with you the princes within Thoth, okay? Because the Prince of let's go, Prince of Fire, he's taking a chariot forward. These are all young men in the tarot within the Thoth deck, right? And within the princes, they're the ones who are always going to do their best. And so they're taking the chariot forward in fire, in water, in air, and they're cutting away all the conditioning. They're taking it forward in physical. And so the chariot and the princes ends up being about structure. I am discerning the way I want to go. I'm taking this forward. And it landed with me as I'm sort of talking with you that this field is coherent, right? It's information that can move around you without throwing you into fear or urgency or confusion. You're not escaping reality, you're managing your field. So you're not going like, la, 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 I don't see that. You are simply navigating now in a different way. And so when discernment is, or what it isn't, is that it is not skepticism. It isn't going, yeah, that's never going to work. I don't trust that. It's not disbelief. It's not cynicism. And it's not shutting down our intuition or our mystery, our internal Mystery, right? I like that term, mystery. Discernment is the ability to stay present while information moves through your field without being hijacked by it. So, whatever you watch, whatever you experience, whatever you had within your field or where your field took you over the last month or two, did you get hijacked by that? Did you have feelings come in? What happened with and for you during this time? So it's the capacity to feel and what strengthens your system and what destabilizes it, right? And what expands you and what drains you before you can decide what you think. So it is like our thinking couldn't even keep up with all the stuff that was happening to us as we were discerning through the energies of the solar flares that went really weird, like a C8, a M5, and an M7. No more X's so far this at the end of the month, but these like bumps or these waves, right? And we're navigating through it because this information is not neutral. It's helping us learn how to work with our emotional tone, our nervous system input, right? Our implied authority, and an invitation to place power somewhere outside or inside. Some information expands our capacity to live well now, right now, and some pulls us towards fear or urgency or waiting or dependency. So the difference isn't always in the facts. It's in using your body as the one that is gathering the information that you are collecting, right? So many of us are feeling really activated right now, a little chaotic, a little bit of a mess, and sort of grabbing towards these beautiful memes or short reels that are just like, I got this, I'm badass. And it's really fun because people are noticing that we have now heightened intuition. Our senses and our clairs are coming on board. We have increased pattern recognition, like, wow, I did not see how that was built. And now I can see all the systems that put that message together. We are experiencing emotional sensitivity. We can feel shifts in the room much more intense than we did before. And we have symbolic thinking, which is we're not thinking like, what do I do with this? 1 + 1 = 2. It's like, I just noticed this. I just noticed this. So, what do you think this might mean? And let's hold the door open to see if there's any more information. And these aren't superpowers. These are our human capacities that return when our nervous system gets quiet enough and our attention turns inward, right? Instead of outward. So when we can focus inside, when we can hold presence, right? Then what happens is awakening isn't about gaining something new, it's about removing the interference. And when we remove the interference, we can slow down enough to feel instead of analyze. And what went dormant begins to come back online. Stories, memories, ideas of what we used to study. Like I think of the classes I took in college and the sort of random spots of history that I like to cover. And I thought, oh, it is all weaving together right now. So when we slow down enough to feel instead of analyze, we realize that the greatest trap right now isn't false information. It's outsourcing our inner authority. It's giving the reins of our, well, where's a good one? It's giving the reins, taking them out of ourselves and letting the direction go either in trust or in chaos, right? Any message that suggests you'll know later, or someone else knows more than you, or the truth is coming, but you just need to wait. I thought that one was good. It's coming in these little slow drip, drip, drip of trying to take us out of ourselves is a strategy that if we're aware of it, if our pattern recognition and our senses tell us, we know what's going on. And we must gain, or the other one I love is that we must align with this to be safe or evolved. If you really want to be on target, you need to go this way. And so every time something like that happens, I go, my discernment comes in. True discernment, because it doesn't rush. And it doesn't bypass the body. It actually goes in with the body and strengthens it. So we're going to do something different today. Instead of tips, I'm going to do some navigation guidelines. And I think these are really fun. Before I go there, I want to again recognize that I have a Patreon site that has membership. You can join for free and read the discussion and communication board that we are all sort of resourcing each other with what we're reading and what we're watching and whatnot. Or you can come in and join the Tuesday discussions. Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It's $11 for membership, and there's this wonderful group of beings that kind of, as I've said often, we share what we're noticing, what pattern recognition we're seeing, what skills are coming online, and we reinforce each other. So if that's something that you desire, there's a link down below to my Patreon, and I would love to have you come join. So let's look at navigator guidelines, right? Let's just slow it down for a minute because this is really important because it's when we are navigators, we're not believers, we're not debunkers, and we're not followers. Mm-mm. When we are navigators, we know how to. So here's the first one. Hold multiple possibilities without collapsing. You don't have to decide immediately. You just hold uncertainty without losing yourself. So the field goes, I'm noticing this. I'm vibrating on this. I'm noticing this. I'm vibrating on that. So what happens is we can hold multiple possibilities without collapsing. So we don't get overwhelmed. We kind of expand and we hold them and go, if I put the full moon with the age of disclosure with the astrology with this or this, then I go, what is really actually happening here? So we slow it all down and it doesn't overwhelm or collapse. Navigators also know how to sense a truth through resonance, not authority. So when we think about that, it says, what does it feel like in my body? And if I can lean in and say, this aligns with my body, it is just saying, yes, let's go this way. The truth is felt before it's explained. And authority outside always looks at us as secondary, which is like, well, yeah, they might be saying that, but that's not what I'm seeing or feeling. And so we have this sort of independence that comes up here too, or we have the emergence of something really powerful within us. It's through resonance, not authority. Okay. Navigators stay embodied when the unknown appears. So think about it. Something starts to rattle or shake. Like there's been this energy wave system that's been coming in over the last 2 or 3 days. Can't track it on the Schumann, can't track it on the flares. Got a little bit of information from Pam Youngins on geomagnetic storms, but it was just like something is pulling at me and I'm not sure what it is. That's when I want to slow down and I want to let my body tell me what it is because my body is my stabilizer, right? Absolutely my stabilizer. Navigators recognize when curiosity becomes stimulation because curiosity nourishes us. Stimulation drains. So am I like leaning in and saying, I've got a thread and I want to pull it and I want to see where it goes? Or am I like, whoa, too much stuff coming in and it's draining my system? My nervous system knows the difference between those two. Am I in curiosity or am I in stimulation? And the weird thing is that curiosity can have some stimulation with it, but then it'll just take off and go too far. And you're like, nope. Curiosity's here, stimulation's way out there, and it's affecting my nervous system. So navigators know the difference between curiosity and stimulation, right? Ugh, can't talk. Okay, navigators recognize when awe becomes dependency. Like, it's the best yoga teacher. I don't know how to do yoga myself. I will just always go to that class or give it to that person. So when we're in awe, when we are learning something new, when we are holding information that is outside the norms, right? Our wonder is healthy. And dependency erodes our sovereignty. Dependency sort of goes like, well, do you really know that? Or and it starts to go back, reach those little tentacles are starting to reach us out to the external, and you have to bring it back in because navigators move with mystery, not towards the spectacle, the news, the oh my goodness, and the little drip of information that's coming out. Navigators are watching our bodies and feeling. So, in closing, I want to bring this to a close with two things. I'm going to close it, and then I want to give you a journal prompt or a reflection, right? Prompt. So, this Cancer full moon isn't asking you to know everything, not at all. It's asking you to know yourself. There's a really big difference. Know your field, know yourself, how to manage your field, to lead your emotional and energetic body forward with care, to let sentience guide you, right? Not overwhelm you. So, this is where our empathic skills and our high levels of sensitivity become navigators, right? Become information bearers as the world offers more stories, more explanations, more interpretations. What it says is stay present, stay embodied, strengthen your inner coherence, and from there, discernment will happen naturally. And from discernment, leadership quietly emerges, which is people are coming up to me and saying, you just don't seem to be too rattled right now. And I'm like, no, I'm really loving all of the information that's coming in right now. So I put these journal prompts down in the description below. But so here's a couple, just couple pieces for you to do, and then I will sign off. So, where in my life do I feel most coherent and grounded right now? And what information and conversations or media tend to destabilize my nervous system? Oh, and how does my body signal resonance versus stimulation? And so when you whatever these questions are, and there's a few more down there to go look at, whenever you're working with this, then the last piece is to say, when I manage my field with care, I notice blank. So let's leave it at that, and let's work on discernment this week and play with it and sort of notice where is it emerging. And I will either see you on Tuesday or I will see you next Sunday. Happy New Year. Take care.